Whispers. Beneath the iron sky. A horror tale from the ashes of silence. They said Zavarichi was forgotten. A ghost village near the edge of the woods, far from the headlines, deep in the hum of history. But when the sky turned iron and the ground stopped breathing, the world remembered. It started with a frequency. Not a bomb, not a missile. Something worse. A whisper through old radios and cracked satellite dishes. Static gave birth to a voice that didn't belong. The bear and the dragon rise. Surrender your story. People began to vanish. First the dogs, then the birds, then the men who still dared to wear yellow and blue on their jackets. Their homes stood untouched, but their mirrors shattered inward. One night, something walked into town. Not tanks, things older than metal. Machines wearing stolen history. Their faces flickered with old propaganda reels. Their limbs moved like rusted puppets strung together by cold logic. They came not to kill, but to erase. Hidden beneath the ruins of a library, Daria adjusted the flickering light above her map. Her forearm glowed faintly with ultraviolet ink, an invisible guide etched during her time beneath Mariupol. Beside her sat an encrypted drive, not just files, proof, names, locations, video fragments smuggled from the digital underground. "They want silence," she whispered, "but truth echoes longer than fear." She wasn't alone. Across bunkers and burned-out churches, others were listening. They called themselves the Pact, resistance born of poets, farmers, hackers, and soldiers. They didn't just fight with bullets, they fought with memory. One by one, they shared signals, patches of forbidden data, fragments of stolen plans. Some even claimed strange things were rising in the woods, spirits maybe, or algorithms that had become self-aware. Whatever they were, they sided with the defiant. In the north, a man dreamt of his grandfather's voice calling him from beneath a tree planted during Holodomor. In the west, a woman carved sunflowers into abandoned drone wings. In the center, amid the ashes of Chernobyl, something stirred. A presence that had waited for trespassers bold enough to rewrite the truth. They said even ghosts fear being forgotten. The machines, called the erasure, marched toward Kiev, absorbing memories as they went. Each step wiped history. Each broadcast replaced prayers with programming. Obey, forget, be still. But resistance spreads like fire in dry fields. As the erasure neared the capital, a strange light bled through the clouds. Not sunlight, but something ancient, something ours. Broadcasts interrupted. Banned songs played, hacked drones dropped flash drives instead of bombs, filled with stories, voices, proof. They could silence one voice. They could not silence all. At the final checkpoint, Daria stood facing the iron sky. Around her were others, faces painted with ash, eyes lit by fire and purpose. She opened the encrypted drive. What spilled out wasn't just data. It was testimony, footage from Bucha, messages from children hiding in basements, laughter from the first liberated town, a song hummed by a mother as sirens wailed. The erasure hesitated. For a moment, it saw not enemies, but a mirror. It tried to override the truth, but the code was already out, and truth infects. They say the war machine burst from within, screaming a sound that shook satellites. They say Kiev was never touched. They say sunflowers bloom faster in scorched soil now, but most don't speak of what rose afterward, what walks the forests at dusk, whispering in binary and bone, guarding what can never be stolen again. So when your lights flicker or your radio hums with static, lean in, listen closely. You may hear a voice, not from the sky, but from the earth, and it might say, resist, remember, rise. They tried to delete the story, but the story survived. Slava Ukraini.